forget. That ends tonight. Whenever this show ends, we'll have a winner by the time this show ends. The winner gets to pick the hype and hate video this week. Georgia, of course, not playing this week. I have a lot of pent-up anger and frustration on account of my Bulldogs crapping the bed last week against the Gumps. And I need to take it out on somebody. So whoever wins is going to pick the team that I do the hype and hate video on tomorrow for this weekend's games.
I swear, this was too easy. Shout out to Celine Driver. Sir, you're good people. Man, you teed this one up for Uncle Lou, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. Man, I really needed this too. It is bad. Well, it's bad anytime your team loses, but man, when you lose and then you have a bye week, that feeling just sits with you in the pit of your stomach, you know, for 2 weeks instead of one. Sure would be nice to be able to go out this week and beat the hell out of somebody, but we're going to have to wait till next weekend to see my dogs do that against Kentucky. But, man, speaking of L's, Florida State, you sure do know that feeling, don't you? My God, what has happened to Florida State? I'm dead serious. You know, there's a few teams in the college football world that have been sort of everybody's punching bag during the YouTube era of college football, which goes back about 10 years, 5 or 6 years for me. But, you know, Tennessee, Texas, Miami, there's been a few others. Those are clearly the three main ones. It's Florida State right now. It's hard to understand. It really is. It's hard to understand how and why Florida State got so bad so fast. I mean, you look at a team like Tennessee or Miami, they've been in the gutter forever. I mean, these teams have been in the gutter for over 15 years. I mean, they live in a gutter. They're never getting out. It wasn't that long ago Florida State was winning a national title, 2013. 2014, they made the initial college football playoff. They lost in the first round of that game, and it's really been downhill since then, culminating, of course, with the last 3 years, which has just been, honestly, some of the worst football Florida State has put on the field in my lifetime. I'm 42 years old. I grew up in the Bobby Bowden days. Florida State was winning 10-plus games in their sleep. They finished ranked in the top 5, something like, 15 years in a row or something. All the national titles, all the big wins over Miami, the classic games with them. And, it's hard to understand. I mean, I'm not going to lie. As a college football fan, it doesn't feel right for Florida State to be this bad. But my God, y'all are just awful. Y'all are unwatchable. Y'all are Georgia Tech level bad. Speaking of Georgia Tech, the hell you lose to the Nerds? My God, man. All offseason, we had to hear about it, too. Mike Norvell. Look what he did at Memphis. Memphis? I can't. I don't even know if I can do this. Freaking Florida State had to go dumpster diving in Memphis for a goddamn head coach. Florida freaking State. Florida. Y'all should be able to get any coach you want. You had to go dumpster diving in one of the poorest parts of one of the poorest states in America to get your head coach. Memphis. Mike Norvell. This guy comes out, loses right away, first game of the year to Georgia Tech. Y'all were so hyped up this offseason. Everything was Willie Taggart's fault, which Willie Taggart was a disaster, by the way. Now, reasonable people knew that from the beginning, and by reasonable, I mean this guy. I spent 2 years telling the Florida State man how bad Willie Taggart was. I got called everything from stupid to racist and everything in between for trying to explain to the Florida State man that Willie Taggart was a damn joke and did not deserve that job at Florida State, was unqualified and unprepared. And I got absolutely hammered by, idiotic Florida State fans. Well, they all agree with UncleLou now. That's for sure. Willie Taggart was an abject failure. Drove your program into the ground. You got Mike Norvell there now. Great. If you'd have hired him instead of Taggart initially, maybe you wouldn't be in the boat you're in now. But the problem you have now, Florida State, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, there's not a coach in America who could show up there right now and do anything worth a shit. There's not. You've got one of, if not the worst offensive lines in all of Power 5 football, and that's been the case for the last 3 years. You've given up something like 50 sacks over the last 2 seasons. Your quarterback situation is an embarrassment. As a Georgia fan, I want you to listen to this. Listen to this, FSU, man. This will tell you how pitiful you are. As a Georgia fan, I look at Florida State's quarterback situation and laugh. Do you know how sad that is? Do you know how sad that is? Look at the mushed poop we put on the field at the quarterback position year after year, and we're miles ahead of you in that department. My God, that's awful. Mike Norvell comes in. He makes the genius decision to roll with the same person that got you into the mess you're in now, James Blackman. This guy looks like what does he weigh? 160 pounds, soaking wet maybe? He looks like a half-cooked spaghetti noodle. I bet if you threw James Blackman against the cabinet, he would stick to it. I bet he would. You know how you know when your spaghetti is done? You throw James Blackman against the cabinet. If he sticks, your spaghetti is done. This James Blackman, this guy's a turnover machine. He's terrible. Took Mike Norvell 3, 4, 5 weeks into the season to figure out he's no good. Everybody with a working set of eyes figured this out 2 years ago. Did Mike Norvell think he was the miracle worker? I mean, did he think he was coming to Tallahassee to teach Helen Keller how to read and write with the No, that was much easier. Teaching Helen Keller to read and write and all that, the miracle worker shit, whatever it was, that was a much easier job. A much easier job than coming to Tallahassee and teaching James Blackman how to play quarterback. That's an impossible task. Mike Norvell found that out. Unfortunately for you, it took a month to do it. Congratulations on a huge program-defining win over a basketball school last weekend, though, in North Carolina. Again, you don't even have to look hard. Just look around. How sad is it The Florida State man is bragging this week about a win over North Carolina. North Carolina in football! What in the hell? How in the hell? And you tried to lose that. Well, you were up like 28-0. You had to hang on like James Blackman chasing a biscuit. 31-28 or whatever it was. My God. You tried to lose. Dude, North Carolina's a good team. Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more. What a joke. It's just sad. It's just, like I said, on some level it does pain me to do this video because Florida State is one of those teams that as a college football fan, because of the era I grew up in, it just doesn't seem right that Florida State is circling the bowl. You know, they're like the turd that won't flush Florida State. And it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. But it's true though, ain't it? Florida State man, it's 100% true. You guys have been such a joke to watch the last few years. And honestly, the only thing funnier than your football team over that time span has been your fans. The Florida State fans are so easily triggered. Florida State fans might be the most easily triggered fan base in the ACC. Now, Miami is near the top of that list too. You can literally find any Miami fan and just say FIU and they get out the bleach and the rope and everything else. I mean, these people are, besides themselves. Oh my God, we only lost to Clemson by 25. We're back. That's a different video for a different off week, I guess. But y'all are just, it's just pitiful. You look at your last 3 years. What are your win totals the last 3 years? You have a 5-win season, a 6-win season, and a 7-win season. Florida State, 3 years in a row, 5 wins, 6 wins, 7 wins. Congratulations, though. Didn't you get a win? What was it? You got a win. What bowl game did you win in 17? Was that your last bowl win? 2017, a win in the walk-on bowl over, who the hell was that even against? The Independence walk-on bowl. Congratulations, you beat Southern Miss. Showed up last year in the Sun Bowl and couldn't beat Arizona State. My Jesus Christ. You lost to Herm. You lost to a dinosaur, Herm Edwards. That dusty-ass guy. Why do you think he took the job at Arizona State? He lives in one of those cryo chambers out there. He's been medically frozen, this Herm Edwards. And he beat the absolute badoo-doo out of FSU. Yes, he did. My God, you lost to Herm Edwards last year in a bowl game. That's hilarious. James Blackman. That bowl game was funny, too, because Blackman, of course, played, but then y'all took him out, and I forget the name of the quarterback y'all put in that bowl game, but you actually started to come back in that game. You put a drive together. You were looking good. You get the ball back the next time. What happens? You trot James Blackman back out on the field again. Right on cue, he throws an interception. Game over. It just, the last 5 minutes of that game just completely summed up the last 3 years of Florida State football. 4 losses in a row to Miami. And Miami's been in the gutter with you. Miami is a pitiful team and a pitiful program. And they have beat you 4 years in a row. Florida State, man, you can't justify that. Can you? No. 4 years in a row they've beat you. And the Gators have beat you 2 years in a row. My God, man. My God almighty. You know what it is? We know what it is. I know what it is. I've been talking about it for 3 or 4 years. Now, in the comments, what the Florida State man says is, all Lou does is talk about Florida State. This man just hates Florida State. Why would I hate Florida State? Huh? We beat the soul out of you last time we played you. What reason would I have to hate Florida State? We hardly ever play you because you're not in a good enough bowl game or the playoffs to match up with UGA. We do have a home and home scheduled, though, in about 8 years. Guess what? UncleLou will be here. Yes, UncleLou will be here in 8 years to remind you of all this shit that I'm saying now. Don't worry. But we all know why it is that Florida State has fallen off the college football earth, so to speak. It's karma. It's the universe getting even with you. Even for what? It's 2020. And the Florida State man is still dressing up a 20-year-old white frat boy like a damn engine, propping him up on a show pony, trotting his goofy ass out onto the field during pregame, dressed up with the makeup and the whole thing, and chucking a flaming toothpick into the ground. A white kid. And he's on scholarship for that. This is, again, put this in the category of can't be justified too. 2020, you're taking some rich, never will be, and never has been nitwit, dragging him out of the frat house, half drunk every Saturday morning, dressing him up in full engine garb from head to toe with the paint and everything else, putting him on that stupid ass show pony, trotting him out there and throwing that flaming toothpick in the ground in 2020. I can't believe y'all are doing that. I cannot believe y'all are doing that. There is literally engines everywhere you look in Florida. There's all them Indian casinos down there. Who do you think's running those things? The engines. Go in there and find one. I mean, this is pitiful. I'm sure there's an engine that would love to have a scholarship to Florida State. But no, let's give one to some rich frat punk ass bitch, white kid, and have him dress up like the white Tonto and trot out here like a fucking joke and throw the flaming toothpick in the ground. That's why you're in the toilet right now. That's why you're in the gutter. The college football gods are laughing at you. And so am I and the rest of civilized society. And that's all before the game even starts. Then we spend the next 3.5 hours laughing some more. You about to say something? Say something then. Goddamn joke, man. Y'all should have just remained a girls' school is what you should have done. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, Florida State was an all-girls college, and there was no issues or problems. There was no girls painting themselves up like engines and trotting around on show ponies with flaming toothpicks. No, we want to play football. We want to play football. We got to get some boys here. You recruit some boys up, pick one of them to be the white Tonto. You trot the football team out there now. Go back. Just go back. Just turn back the clock. Just turn back the clock, man. Jesus. Go back to being an all-girls school. Oh, one thing you still are, one thing you used to be and still, I've yet to get a logical explanation about this. I don't understand this. There are things that go on at colleges all over the place that they're not classes or majors. They're clubs or intramural sports and things like this. How the hell you got a goddamn clown college? I'm serious. How do you have a clown, a circus? You got people down there. You got actual college students. It's down there majoring in trapeze and shit. There's classes down there. This has to be what the football players are taking. This is the only explanation. There can't be like a long waiting list for these classes. Who the hell? This isn't like, this isn't the Great Depression where your only option is to run off with the circus or become a carny or join the Florida State is literally graduating hundreds of carnies a year. I don't understand who's sitting around at 17 or 18 years old going, you know what I want to do? I want to go to college. I want to go to Florida State. I want to learn how to dress up like a clown and pull the never-ending handkerchief out of my pocket. That's what I want to do. I want to get a red nose and one of those silly-ass horns. I want to know how they fit 45 clowns in one of those little cars. Let me go to Florida State and major in fucking circus. What in the absolute hell? What is that? Again, the white Tonto thing, the circus college. These things cannot be explained. That's why no one ever tries to explain them. I mean, come on. Come on. And when I watch Florida State play football these days, I can't tell whether I'm watching the football team or the goddamn clown circus students. They're one and the same. But yeah, you beat Louisville and Jacksonville State. Hell, I'm not going to lie. You beat North Carolina. You play Louisville this week, and you beat Jacksonville State. And I'm not going to lie. I was a little surprised you beat North Carolina, but not because North Carolina's really good, but because, yeah, you're that bad. I thought you might go 1-9. Hell, shit. Now you might go 2-8. Can you beat Louisville? Louisville isn't. Oh my God, Louisville's bad. I don't know. Louisville got boat raced by Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech beat you too. I don't know. Hell, they almost beat Notre Dame last week. Might need to make one of these for Notre Dame. My God. What a joke Rudy is, by the way. Notre Dame's still living off that Rudy shit. Dude played one play. It was all size. Anyway, can you beat Louisville? No, you can't. You blew your load last week, didn't you? You shot your wad last week. The biggest win, that's Florida State's biggest win since when? Just think about that. A home win against North Carolina is Florida State's biggest win since what? The ACC title game in 2014? My God. My God. Jesus. You really keep up the clown college circus school shit. That's fitting perfectly with what you have going on now with the football team. Go back to being an all-girls college. Quit dressing up that half-drunk, rich, white frat kid like the white Tonto, dressing him head to toe in engine guard, painting up his face, putting him on the show pony, trotting him out on the field before the game and having him throw that flaming toothpick in the ground. Quit that. And if you got any sense at all, which based off of some of the coaching decisions, recruiting decisions, and personnel decisions that I've seen Florida State make over the last 2 or 3 years, I'm leaning in the direction of no, you don't have any common sense. But if you can somehow find some, whether it's a fan that I don't know, maybe there's a Florida State fan with some common sense. Maybe you know an administrator there. Maybe you know Mike Norvell, whatever. Maybe you have a connection to Florida State, whatever. Somebody better get a hold of a decision maker at Florida State quick, fast, and in a hurry. And take this team off your schedule in 6-7 years, whenever it is 2028, I think we play. Because one thing I can tell you right now, Georgia's going to bend you over and spank your little bottom blue. Never mind what Louisville is going to do to you this weekend. Georgia's going to push it in without asking. No lube. Bend you right over. Push your own doo-doo up so far you'll be chewing on it. Does that sound good? If it does, I'll see you in 6 years. You go get you some of this, bitch!